All right. Let's see what we got here. Greetings, my friends. Hope you're all having a great Monday so far. I know it's a little weird. I'm online sort of randomly. Transfer some of this water over to my my mug, so I don't have to carry this big giant thing around. How's everybody doing? Hope you're all well. Let's see who's in the chat so far. Got Nikki, got Jankin, got Gina, No Name, Bad Vibes, 115. We got Snips, we got Lana, Brian's World, and Nonification. Greetings, my friends. Glad to have you here this afternoon, or this evening almost. Just wanted to pop on for a little bit because I was looking for something to do, and I figured I'd look for something to do with you guys. You don't have any major plans this time around, but I do have a couple of interesting emails that I wanted to share with you guys. And for those of you who might be concerned about whether your story or your email has been received or looked at, the email that I'm probably going to read for you guys today is from over a year ago. So that's how far back I am right now. Once in a while, I'll skip ahead and get to an email that's more recent, but I found this one earlier on. It's about premonitions, and earlier today, actually, I was just checking through the old stuff that I haven't really had a chance to look at, and I thought it was there's I think 3 pretty interesting stories in this email sent to me by someone coincidentally named Brian. I don't think it's any relation, but there was another thing I wanted to share with you guys today. And you'll see that when we go into story mode, you're going to see a brand new animation type of thing, almost like a screensaver looking deal that I set up. If you were at the last stream towards the end of it, and by the way, I have to apologize. Last stream, as you guys know, the reason I was demonetized is because I had the gall to use my own content more than once by taking a long 2-hour stream and uploading kind of like a condensed 30 minutes version of it with only the stories and the pertinent commentary and that type of stuff, without all the hangout type stuff that we do when it's just you and I on the stream. And I made the mistake of leaving both of those videos up at the same time, and YouTube didn't like that, so they hit me with that demonetization situation. So, but towards the end of that stream, I was trying to kind of sketch out some stuff and give you guys an idea. Well, not just give you an idea, but start working on this sort of screensaver type of background animation for you to see while I'm doing my story time. Because if you guys remember, it's usually just the logo with the black with the stars and everything like that, which I love. It's cool, but I wanted to step it up a little bit, and spent several hours working on this new thing that when we get into the story in a few minutes, we will you'll get a good look at it. I think I might be having some trouble with the chat or something, because some people were talking and now all of a sudden it stopped. It's a little bizarre. Maybe I'm lagging or something like that. Let me know if you're in the chat. Say something now, and let me know if there's something wrong. Okay, there you go. Well, that's what that does. So I scrolled up and down real quick in the chat, and then suddenly about 100 more messages popped up out of nowhere. All right, so let's see. Who else did I? Who did I? What did I miss? Space Kitty, Boricua Morena, Sleepy Time, Victoria, Phantom Knight 24. Hello there, my friends. Sean, Low Lightning, Cindy, Larry, No Face, Isabella, Rebecca. Hello there, Rebecca. Hope you're doing well. Let's see who else. Jessica D. Hello there, my friend. Always nice to see you all here. All right, we got Alex in the house. And who else? Jessica Bullock. All right. Yeah, Alex, I did make you a moderator. The only the most OG dreamers who have demonstrated their good judgment to me, which is it's a pretty high bar, and there's a lot of you guys that I do trust, but I don't want to just burden everybody with mod status. Otherwise, it would just be full of mods in the chat, and that's no fun. And by the way, if I make you a mod, whoever you are, don't think that I'm telling you that you need to help me or do anything for me, but that just means that you're someone that I believe would make a good decision in that regard. If somebody's acting up or not spreading love the way we like to among the dreamers, you guys will. How's that for the volume? You guys will be able to help me handle that. Deadshot, hello there, my friend. Okay, someone, Gina said the volume is low. I've been hearing that lately. For some reason, people are saying that my volume is always low. Maybe I just have sensitive ears or something. Here we go. All right. Yeah, so I cranked the volume up just a little bit. All right, how about now? So there's a delicate balance that I try to get, where you should be able to hear me pretty well at like 75% of your volume, because I don't want you to go to the next thing and then have that blow out your eardrums, and I also don't want to introduce too much background noise and things happening around, because some of you might know that I'm not just somebody in their basement or living by myself. I have a family, and there's people running around sometimes, so gotta have a good balance there. Let's see here. I know somebody popped in here a second ago. Adam Buckley, greetings, my friend. Nino Brown. Who else we got? Inside09. All right. Yeah. I'll keep that in mind for future reference. So, got a couple of pretty interesting stories I'm going to get into in just a second here. But before I do, just a reminder, as you can see scrolling across the bottom of the screen, and I'm not asking for anything from anybody, but I know sometimes you guys do like to contribute to the channel and to my work here. And I got some pretty cool things in the works that obviously require money. So if you did happen to want to support the channel, you can always go to Teespring store and get some merch, or you can donate to my PayPal, which is going across the bottom of the screen right now. Especially during this demonetization 30-day period, at least 30-day period. Not asking, you don't have to do it. All I really want from you is for you to hang out and talk and listen and all that good stuff. But if you did feel the itch to donate or contribute, that's pretty much the only way that we can do that right now. So PayPal, and if you want some merch, you can go to Teespring. Also, if you have PayPal'd me anything and you want like a personalized greeting or voicemail, or me to record something short for you, let me know, because I don't want you guys to just be giving me money for nothing in return. If that is something that interests you and you've made a donation, then I'm more than happy to do that for you guys, because you definitely deserve it. Especially if you shoot me with a couple of dollars, you should be getting something for your money. So don't think that I just want a donation and you just give me money and that's it. If you do donate, or you did donate, hit me up and let me know what you want. If you want a voicemail or answering thing, or if you want a I don't know, me yelling at you to wake you up in the morning, just let me know. We'll do it. Gina said, missed you this weekend. Yeah, I wasn't able to do a show this weekend, or this past weekend. And next week is going to be tricky too, because I'm going to be out of town for a portion of that. Let's see. Junkin says, I am unwell, Mr. X. You ever find the only good thing about being sick is the crazy dreams you get? Well, Junkin, I'm sorry to hear that you're unwell. I hope it's nothing too serious. But I'm trying to think if I've had any specific crazy dreams brought on by sickness. I will say this: I have had times where being sick made it very difficult for me to sleep, and the more trouble I have sleeping, the longer I go without sleeping, the more prone I am to things like sleep paralysis and lucid dreaming and hallucinations, and kind of being stuck in that twilight between being awake and being asleep, where you're just kind of sitting there almost like zoned out, just your mind wandering, your eyes just drifting around the room, and you start seeing some pretty crazy things, especially at night. And that is something I actually enjoy. That's the one thing that makes being sick to that degree an interesting experience for me. I'm almost like, if I get to have these weird, otherworldly experiences, I'll put up with the sickness for a while, for quite a while. And like I said, guys, if you don't have the ability, or if you don't want to donate or send me anything, there's no worries at all. There's no pressure, no nothing. I just want you to know that if you did feel like doing that, that's pretty much the only way, is PayPal or Teespring, if you did want to do that. Snips, yeah, you said you're in Paris. That's pretty awesome. I hope you have a good and safe trip, and make your way back safely as well. Let's see, we got Mr. President Logan. Hello there, my friend. Superbot. Superbot. What are you, Superbot? JDog420, I'm going to speak my mind, not be offensive, but you don't look like the way you sound. Well, I wonder what I do sound like. Adam Buckley X, my mind is blown. How so? Let me know. Dark Somnium. Hello there, my friend. What is up? I'm glad you're here. Yes, I did draw Dark Somnium's channel artwork, or some of it anyway. Glad you like it, my friend. You guys go check out Dark Somnium. He is had a pretty meteoric rise recently, and well deserving of it. He's a hardworking YouTuber, and a good friend of mine. Please go check him out when you get a chance. Jay says, you saw that creature again, the creature we spoke about a couple weeks ago. Would that be the fleshy, whispery, tall, skinny creature that you saw kind of, I believe it was in an alleyway or something like that, if I recall correctly? Yeah. Yeah, Adam, I've had sleep paralysis on more occasions than I can remember. Yeah, fever dreams and bordering delirium. Very, very interesting state of being that is. Hey, Dark Somnium, if you're still around, I want you to check out this thing. See, I was gonna wait until story time. Actually, you know what, I'll go to story time, but I made this new animation for my story time situation whenever I go to story time, so you guys don't have to sit and look at me reading off of my screen. I made this cool animation I want you guys to see. If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you've seen the preview of it, but now you're going to see it in all of its glory. At least I hope. So, I'm going to read these stories one at a time. There are 3 pretty short stories. We'll read them, and they're all from the same person. We'll read them and then go take a break, discuss. All right. Okay, Dark Somnium's still here. So, check this out. All right. Story mode. Engage. Dear Mr. X, my name is Brian. Growing up in foster care since childhood, I had many experiences, many lives. My memory's always been pretty good, so what I'm about to tell you, I know to be the truth. There was one home I had to go to temporarily because my previous foster parent got sick. I'd been to this family before. They were really good people. They lived out in the country and grew their own vegetables and everything. After I left and come back, everything was different. They were different. They still lived out in the same country area, but the house, the land, even the people and their kids were totally different than I remembered. I mentioned having lived with them before, and I remembered it down to the specific details of the house and everything in it. What they said shook me, though. They told me they'd never met me. Not even the kids remembered me. I wonder if perhaps I was living in an alternative timeline. So, that story was a little choppy because I didn't go in and write everything out properly. It's a little choppy the way it's written, but I tried to make the best sense of it as I could. It might be the same type of situation with the next 2 stories. How'd you guys like the animation, though? Let's see. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, if you look carefully in there, Mighty Might, hello there, my friend. Glad to see you. These are supposedly true stories. So what Brian is saying in this case is that he basically stayed with his family who had 2 adopted children. One at some point, I guess he was there temporarily in foster care. At one point, he got someone who wanted to adopt him, or wanted to take him in, so he went over to another foster parent for an extended period of time. And then that person got sick, and he went back to the original family he'd come from. That might not have been as clear in the story itself, but that's pretty much what he's saying happened. He remembers the people. He remembers them being really good, nice, decent people. They're farmers. They grew their own stuff and lived out in the country. But there was just enough differences for him to still remember all the people, but there were some differences that he just couldn't, it seems like he couldn't really put his finger on. So he mentions that these people had no recollection of ever meeting him. But he himself remembers sort of alternate versions of each of those people, an alternate version of that family with whom he lived for some significant amount of time. So that's, to me, that's pretty creepy, especially being a kid and having to kind of live with these people. And, you know, you're kind of stuck in a house for, who knows, it could be days or weeks with these people that are vaguely familiar. You know that you did stay there before, and you know you're going back to the same place that you went to before, but yet they have no recollection of you. It does seem like one of those sort of alternative timeline situations. Not that I completely buy into that theory, but it's definitely something that's very interesting to me. And when you hear, I'm going to read the next two stories consecutively because they're both pretty short, and I want you guys to see the whole animation, because that animation is it's 2 minutes long, and there's a whole bunch of little tidbits. The more you look at each part as it goes by, you could kind of see little sort of mini, not stories, but there's a lot of cryptids hidden in there, and I want you to spot all of them. All right. So, Dark Somnium says, we should collab on a story sometime if you want. Definitely, man. I'm always down for a good collab with a solid creator such as yourself. Yeah, hit me with a DM and let's talk about that. Because you do pretty good live streams yourself. I hardly ever get the chance to catch them, but I know you do a lot of live streams, and you and I are one of the few, or among the few, that do live streams pretty regularly right now. This is really the only thing I have time for. So, yeah, Dark Somnium, hit me up, man. Let's do something. I'm sure we can make it work. We'll figure something out. Okay, wait a second here. Passion Queen, hello there, my friend. Justin Stone Cipher, Psycho, Sunny Movado, and 057. Greetings, my friends. I'm glad you're here. Totally random stream, totally unplanned, and just out of nowhere, really. Snips, I hope you have a good day tomorrow. Be safe out there in Paris, France, and take care. All right, Logan. President Logan says he's getting he's getting a piece of merch, the werewolf tee. They're very nice. Thanos with 2 S's. Best horror stories I've ever heard. Passion Queen, you subbed. Well, your recent sub. That's nice. Welcome to the Dreamers, my friend. And 057, I really like your voice. Why? Thank you. And that is... Wait a minute. You guys know I have an infinity gauntlet, right? Maybe you don't. Triggered Potato, hello there, my friend. I actually have 2 infinity gauntlets that I made myself. One of these days I gotta bring those back. Alright, so I'm gonna do the next... We'll see. Next 2 stories. They're very short, and then we'll talk about those. Oh, know what? Never mind. So I'm going to do the second story is really short, really quick. Then the third one is a little bit longer, but whatever it is, I'm going to make sure you guys see the whole animation so you can see all the cryptids and all the monsters that I have hidden throughout there. And I want you, after that, maybe I'll just have you guys type in the names of what you think you see throughout the story time while it's going across. That might be fun. Hello there, Valerie. Hey, Mr. X. How are you, handsome? Thank you for the compliment. I am well, and I hope you're well as well. That's a pretty strong list there, Mighty Might. Thank you. I'm honored to be among your favorite voices on YouTube. Very nice. All right, so I'm going to start reading, and I want you guys to count the cryptids. If you see a cryptid that you recognize, I want you to type the name into the chat. All right. Story time, engage. Let me get some nice rain sounds going, or let's see, maybe we'll do the nighttime. Let me know if you guys hear that. Shouldn't be too loud. Not to go into paranoia or anything, but when I first came into foster care, my brother and I were separated and rejoined a few days later. My sister and I stayed with a nun during that short time of separation. As a 7-year-old kid, I walked in to meet with my brother for the first time in several days. The first thing he looked at me and said was, "What did they do to you?" "What?" I asked. "You don't know, do you?" he asked me. I wasn't concerned at the moment because I was so young. I was only happy to see my brother again. During my childhood, I had all kinds of blackouts where I would wake up while being awake already. So I would wake up in the middle of already being awake and walking around and wonder what the hell I was doing. Like I just hopped into a car that was already driving and grabbed the wheel. That's pretty freaky. Alright, so looks like you guys saw the whole thing. There's a hobo on the roof, says Dark Somnium. Yeah, you guys got some of the, you guys got, yep. Wow, very nice, guys. You did pretty good. You got pretty much all of them. And just so you know, this thing it's subject to evolution. I will probably, as the mood strikes me, add more cryptids to this lineup. You know, if it's still interesting, if it's got to be something that's really interesting and has a strong silhouette in theory. So let's see here. Yeah, there were probably a couple of big hobos in there. Rook X. Hello there, my friend. Mr. X, when are you going to do the live stream collaboration with Let's Read? It's a good question. One of these days, he live streams once in a while as well. I gotta coordinate with him so that we could both kind of hop on at the same time. That would be fun though. Mr. X was the sun. I did put my logo in the background of the sky just so that people can't steal my my video there. Not that anyone would definitely want to, but you know, gotta protect my work once in a while. Let's see here. We got Ben Brewitt. Hello there, my friend. Good to see you. Tiffany, hello. Tanya, Marshall, nice voice. Dark Somnium, thanks for sharing. All right, well, my main man, Dark Somnium, is already bringing people into the stream. Very nice, sir. Thank you very much. That's much appreciated. And you said you already stole my animation. Doggone it. Well, good luck getting rid of these fancy watermarks that I put in there. I purposefully put the Mr. X Dreams in an area where it would be hard to scrub it out or just block it off. Very nice. Oh, Goat Man, that's a pretty good idea. Matter of fact, as we go along, if you guys come up with any other ideas for cryptids to go into this landscape, do let me know, because Goat Man would be a very iconic addition to put in there. Saya Fee, hello there, my friend. John Paul or Jean Paul Shelton, a salute back to you, my friend. And you guys saw the rake in the tree, right? I hope you did. Thunderbird, that's a good one. I thought about, I meant to add a UFO in the background, like abducting someone, but I sort of forgot to do that. Jersey Devil. You know what? Let me look up and see what the Jersey Devil actually is supposed to look like. Because I do have a little sort of demon guy in there sitting on the roof, if you noticed. I could do some black-eyed kids, but it would be white-eyed kids, which is perfect for my channel because that is one of the more unique stories that I have. Okay, so, and if you guys don't mind, I'll just leave this up for a little bit since I'm so proud of it. You can look at that for a while instead of looking at my face. Krampus. I gotta have him put him right up there next to that demon guy on the roof. Maybe he's climbing into the the chimney there. That's a good one. All right, so this I wanted to pause, even though there was a small. This story is pretty small because there's just something different about it that I thought was interesting. Imagine being a child, and you go up to one of your siblings. You haven't seen them in a few days, but you finally see them. You're reunited. And for a little kid, 3, 4, 5 days, that's a pretty long time to be away from your family. And these children are already orphans. They're in foster care. But when you see your older sibling, the first thing they say to you is, "Oh no, what happened? What did they do to you?" That must be very unsettling, a jarring experience. Now, I feel like, he does mention that he was just so happy to see his brother that it really didn't occur to him that to find out what exactly was so different about him from his perspective. From his perspective, he was pretty much the same. He was none the wiser as to whatever his brother was so spooked by as far as what changed about himself. And then he mentions that he frequently had these blackouts all through his childhood growing up, where he would be awake and then suddenly wake up again. Dark Somnium, have a good night, my friend. Yeah, make sure you hit that DMs, because I would definitely like to do something together one of these days coming soon. That would be awesome. And so, imagine, especially as a child, I mean, because I've had this happen to me, I've felt this way, or I've felt this several times, even in my adult years, where I'll be, say I'm driving, and then suddenly, next thing I know, I'm home. Whatever I did to get from being out miles and miles away from my house and, end up at home, it's a complete mystery to me. I have no idea what I did or how I got there. Obviously I drove, but it's almost like I was someone else was piloting my body, and I just suddenly wake up and it's 25-30 minutes later. Such a weird experience. I'd hate to be going through that as a child. Let's see here. Yeah, you guys saw Bigfoot over there at the very end of the animation. So far we got Jersey Devil, Goatman, Thunderbird, UFOs. Yeah. Maybe I'll add another layer, or I could also stretch this out to make it a longer animation, or a wider landscape. But I kind of want to just keep it nice and compact, where everywhere you look there's a cryptid there. I think that would be cool. And I hope you guys notice the moon going into the blood moon phase during the middle area of the screen. I thought that was a nice touch. As you can probably tell, I really enjoyed making this. Master Panda, hello there, my friend. Heavy Metal Redneck, what is up? SM Gamer, hello there. Tariko, hello there, my friend. Cindy said you have to go to work. Well, you have a great day at work, my friend, and you take care. All right. Welcome back, Adam. Scarlet Witch, hello there, my friend. Glad to see you. Ouija board. I wonder how, well, I don't know if a Ouija board works as a silhouette. But it's pretty... I like where you guys are thinking. I like where your minds are. Saguaro. Let me see what a saguaro is. Saguaro. Oh, like a cactus. Okay. Thought I recognized that. So what? The cactus would go with what? Where would that go in? Maybe with the UFOs? Isabella James, a witch, a harpy. Are harpies actual cryptids? I mean, do people really say they see harpies around? I've never heard of that happening. Okay, southwestern thunderbird. So if I add another biome, per se, what I would do is have some cacti. Are there any other desert-based cryptids around here? Mr. Dan and Harry, hello there, my friend. I've dated a few harpies. It's pretty funny. Yeah, Leviathan would be entirely too big for this landscape here. Although, maybe a Loch Ness Monster or something, if I added a sort of a lake biome to it, that might work. Fallen King, hello there, my friend. Chupacabra, that might be a good one. Let me see here. Well, there wasn't a chupacabra in there, but there is a sort of, and I'm gonna read this third story in just a second. There is a sort of little demon imp type of a creature that I feel like is close enough to like the Jersey Devil or the or even maybe even Krampus, even though it's got wings on it. Fairies, that might be a good idea. Let me add that, just to see how that works out. Giant camel spiders, yeah, those aren't cryptids, those are real, and I've seen them in the desert. Jesse Lee, greetings, my friend. Glad to have you here. Glad you didn't miss me live today either. I've been, normally you guys know I come online really late in the evening, typically, and I hate doing that to the people that really just don't have the time to hang out that late. And I figured I'd hop on, even though I don't have like a huge laundry list of stuff to read today or anything like that. I figured I'd just give you guys some time out of my day and just hang out for a little while, because I love seeing the new faces and seeing the people that normally don't get a chance to pop into a stream. $11 p.m. where you're at, 057. Where are you? That's pretty. You're not in the UK, are you? I'm not sure. I think right now in the UK it's almost 10 p.m. Superbot, voice too soothing, falling asleep. That is by design, my friend. I have no problem with people using my voice to fall asleep. 057, you're in Northern Europe. Very interesting, very nice. Thank you for joining us from all the way over there. Ah, Leprechaun. That might be a good one. A leprechaun. And you know what? That just kind of gave me an idea. I wish, well, I mean, if I had a lot more time on my hands, I would make different themed versions of this, where, like, say there's a Halloween themed one, or you know, with the color scheme it's orange, or Christmas themed one with Krampus, maybe some zombified reindeer flying through the air. That might be a good one. You guys are giving me some really good ideas. Okay, a ghost ship. That could be good. Wendigo. So, let's see here. What do we got? All right, gonna go to story number 3. Hello there, Bob Walker. I don't have any giant camel spiders. You said caramel spiders, which sound delicious, but camel spiders, I've only seen in person. I've only seen dead ones that were strung up, or, well, I did see a baby one once, and it was bigger than any spider I'd ever seen. It's probably about 3 inches across, if I'm not mistaken. If memory serves. Yeah. Super Saiyan Bebo, hello there, my friend. Big Murray Uchiha, hello there. Yeah, caramel spiders, that's kind of making me hungry a little bit, now that I think about it. All right. Story number 3. Story mode, engage. My most recent, memorable precognition was of my friend dying. Back in high school, we were in JROTC together for years. One day we spent the entire hour outside in the sun, with a nice breeze going by. We talked, and in one instant, all these memories came flooding into my mind. I saw in my mind's eye the image of a funeral. There was a painting of Jesus. When I snapped out of it, I asked my friend about that scene. He said he had a sister who had died. Now, I knew he only had one sister. So fast forward a few years to last year, 2018. My friend killed himself in the woods. At his funeral, all those memories came flooding back to me again because I saw the painting of Jesus that I saw in the vision years prior. There was a girl with his parents crying. I walked up to them and asked who she was. They told me that it was his sister. Of course, I was shocked. He had told me that his sister had died. So, Brian now says, at some point, when his friend had gone missing, he went to a psychic. Brian himself decided to go to a psychic. She told him that his friend was in a dark place, like woods. Search parties had been looking for him for weeks. And as soon as she told Brian about that, he knew that his friend was dead. He asked the psychic to escort his friend to a proper resting place and get the police to help find his body. That's pretty crazy. So to recap, for those of you who were entranced by the graphics that I have playing right now, he had a friend. Since before high school, he spent years getting to know this kid. And he knew that the kid had a sister. One day, the kid tells Brian that his sister died. Years later, Brian dies. Suicide. Tragically. He goes missing because he doesn't tell anyone. I assume he didn't tell anyone where he was going or what his plans were. I wish he had, because maybe someone could have intervened. But unfortunately, no one was able to. So Brian goes to a psychic who tells him that his friend is somewhere dark, like in the woods. They find Brian's body in whichever manner it was that he left it. And when he goes to the funeral, Brian sees that it's the exact same scene that he had a premonition of years prior with his friend, when sitting with his friend. That's crazy enough as it is, but even crazier to add to that very bizarre scenario, having a premonition of your friend's own funeral years before he tragically takes his own life. The sister that the friend told him had previously died was alive there at the funeral with the kid's parents. So, what in the world happened there? what happened there. It seems to be that this situation was so far, it's so expansive. It took place over years. And I didn't read this part, but during the in the email Brian sent me, he mentions briefly that he's died and been revived 3 times. I don't know if that was all in the same incident. Say, you know, he just kept fading and they were bringing him back and successfully kept him from dying. But I wonder if that was before or after he began having these premonitions. Interesting stuff, though. You know, I've had a lot of let me briefly say this. I've come across a lot of people who struggle with depression and suicidal thoughts and other issues that sometimes you just need another person to help you. Sometimes you need people to talk to, someone that you can confide in. And if that's you, if you're, number one, we should all strive to be that person, the person that someone can come to if they need that type of help to avoid taking drastic measures such as hurting themselves or hurting someone else. Try to be that person. Excuse me. Try to be that person whenever you can, for whoever you can be, because like I've said many times before, you never know who is in need. You never know whose day you could brighten or ruin depending on your actions. You know, sometimes, and I'll tell you guys a brief story in a minute. But sometimes a simple small interaction, just a little tiny act of kindness or compassion, can change someone's life. It could be that day that something bad was going to happen, but they noticed some concern, some care from a random stranger. That could be you. And I hope it is, because it's a terrible thing to miss an opportunity to brighten someone's day, or to make someone feel like they belong here, or that they're loved, or that not everyone is terrible in the world. Sometimes it's not hard to come to that conclusion that, you know, if you're surrounded by terrible people, you might sort of be tricked into thinking that everyone's terrible, and everybody's got their moments, but be the person that shows someone, hey, you can make it, you can get through this. You know, and if you can't be that person, encourage them to find the person who can help them. So I'm gonna see who I've missed in the chat here real quick, and I'm gonna tell you guys a story about what I just said. Nick DeForia, hello there, my friend. Glad to... Man, I need to fix my posture over here. Ray Ayanami, hello there. Let's see. Do I have any stories about giants? Asks Jesse Lee. I do not. As a matter of fact, unfortunately, I wish I did. That would be pretty cool. I am interested in the subject. Jessica D, I got your PayPal donation, my dear. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let me know. Like I said, right now, PayPal and Teespring are pretty much the only way for me to make any money from this channel and from the stuff that I do here. So if you do want to contribute, like Jessica just did, that's the way to do it. Not asking, Definitely not telling. I appreciate you guys for hanging out and coming by here. That's really all I could ask of you. But Jessica, thank you so much. If you want a recording or something like that from me, then you let me know, and I will make it happen as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Somebody's saying welcome. What is going on? Well, yeah, you know what? 057 asks, what's your story? What got you into reading? And I'll definitely answer that question for you, because there are a few new faces in here, and you guys might not really know what my deal is. So I want you to know, and I want to. I'm going to give you that rundown on who I am. Okay, let's see. Valerie said, my daughter and myself will always go to people and tell them random words of praise or encouragement. She's a wonderful 14-year-old, and I'm very proud of her. Well, that's great. Sounds like you're setting a wonderful example for a young person. Valerie, thank you for that. And I hope one day your daughter will be a dreamer just like the rest of us. Arlene, hello there, my friend. Made it to another live stream. Sound great through headphones. Well, thank you. Actually, I didn't even remember to put on my intro today. I was so excited to see people coming into the stream. I got a new intro as well. And let's see here. I'll play it for you guys in a second if you haven't seen it. Let me see here. Mr. Dan says, do you have stickers with your logo? Yes, I do actually. If you go to my Teespring store, which is right down here, somewhere around there on the screen right now, you can get go there and check out the stickers. There's a couple different types of stickers, and I think they're really cool. I haven't bought any yet, but I am going to, because I have the mug with my both logos on it, or two pieces of art that I've done on it. But I probably will do that so I could stick it onto like this thing or something. I've been wanting to do that. RK Storms, hello there, my friend. My Wolf Gaze tank just came in today. Awesome. I saw someone had ordered one of those. That's awesome. Make sure you send me a picture with that, and you will be added to the Dreamer slideshow. Anyone who sends me a picture wearing my merch or drinking from a mug or anything like that will be featured in this awesome slideshow. Because you guys are very awesome for doing that. I never thought that I'd be able to see people wearing my design. I made that design a long time ago, the face design in particular. I was like 16 years old on the first version of Photoshop I ever got my hands on, and I made that. So it's really touching for me when I see people wearing those designs. Linzer Ryan, greetings, my friend. Glad you made it. All right. So, quick story. As soon as this the Dreamer slideshow is done, I'm going to give you guys a quick story as far as what Margbot. Hello there, my friend. Glad to see you. Let me see here. Lost my train of thought. Okay. When it comes to the way that you can influence or affect a person's day, could be, I mean, you've got more power than you realize. For example, one time in an what I'm going to tell you is completely true, but I have to change some of the details in order to protect both my situation and identity and those involved. So yeah, Margbot, don't get caught with, I would hate to get you in trouble. But if you do get caught, make sure your boss likes and subscribes on my channel, so we can get another dreamer added. Lord Draco 81 TJ, greetings, my friend. Glad to have you here. So True story, right? There's this office nearby where I work. And one day, okay, in this office, I've never told this story in a sanitized way before, but one day, an older man drove his car to this office and demanded to see a manager because this company at this office owes this guy a check. He's supposed to get a check from this agency, and he goes in there into the office, demands to talk to a manager. He didn't really have the right to talk to a manager at the time because no one else had been given the opportunity to help him, but the manager was a very, very kind lady, so she agreed. She walks into her office with this man, and he starts making demands about how he's got to be paid. He's not leaving until he gets his check. But the manager explained to him, hey, I'm sorry, but there's no way we can't print the check out for you here. It's got to be done through the mail, and it's going to take seven business days or what have you. The guy is irate. He jumps up on top of her desk, stomping on the desk, saying, hey, I'm not leaving here without my check. You're going to have to call the police. They're going to have to lock me up, and so on and so forth. So instead of freaking out, this manager, she de-escalates. She calms him down. She talks to him. She says she understands. She understands that he's having a hard time, that he needs the money, and so on and so forth. She talks him down off of the desk. She tells him that he's going to get the check as soon as humanly possible, and they're going to put a rush on it or what have you. But the main point is that she empathized with him and talked to him in such a way that he felt valued. He felt that his case was important and deserved to be heard. So he was still a little antsy, a little uncooperative. So he, on his way out, he kind of said to the guard, there was a guard there, he said, hey, you guys can't touch me. And the guard says, okay, it was a pretty good guard, sharp guy. He knows when there's something up with someone. And he said, you guys can't touch me. The guard says, what are you talking about, sir? The guy says, I have a concealed carry permit. So in this building, you're not supposed to have guns on you or weapons of any kind. Can't even have a lighter. But this individual says he's boasting that he can't be touched by the guards because he's got a concealed carry permit. So the guard says, hey, do you have a gun? Where's your gun at? Where's your gun at? And the guy says, well, it's in my pocket. The guard comes up and removes a loaded and with a round chambered pistol from this elderly man's pocket. So he claims, after the fact, he claims that he accidentally brought it into the office, and he didn't mean to. He thought he thought he left it locked up at home or in his car or something like that. But in my opinion, he went in there intending to shoot someone if he didn't get his way or if he wasn't treated in the way that he wanted to be treated. So he went up in there with this raucous attitude, climbing up on furniture and yelling at people and treating people so badly. He did not deserve to be treated with kindness, but that is what happened. He was treated with kindness. He was treated in a way that went above and beyond what was merited by his actions. But the result was that no one got hurt, not even him. So that's that's just one small example of. I mean, that manager didn't know that this man that's jumping up and down on her desk was armed with a loaded weapon. She didn't realize that in a 2-second period, or maybe a 5-second period, she could have been shot dead. But that was the case. What she did was instinctively go out of her way to be kind to this man and to treat him with dignity and respect that, frankly, he did not deserve. So my point is, I say that because I want you guys to realize you never know whose day you could turn around. Imagine the day that would have been if she had escalated and been yelling at him the same way he was yelling at her. Who knows what could have happened to one or more people in that office. It could have just been her, could have been her and then him, could have just been him, could have been her and then several other people in the office. You never know. He had, I believe, several rounds of ammunition at the ready in that weapon. And I mean, the more I think about it, the more I realize that is a pretty extreme example. But sometimes it's just, I mean, it doesn't matter how extreme the example is. It doesn't matter how unlikely the event is. It's really about being a human being and being the best one that you can be. And as you all well know, that's what being a dreamer is all about on this channel. That's the way I want us to treat each other and the people around us. And I don't mean to get like preachy or anything, but that is truly one thing that I would be remiss if I did not impart to people who are listening to me at any given time. James Fritz, hello there, my friend. Phantom Knight 24, have a good day at work. Roy Thami, hello there. Carla Kirkpatrick, greetings. Oh yeah, if you're here, if you're on the stream, yeah, make sure you give a thumbs up and let me know you enjoyed. If you're not enjoying it, before you give me a thumbs down, tell me in the chat what you don't like, and we'll see if we can straighten that out. Yeah, 057. I do believe that he was intending on shooting someone there. Yeah, yeah, I won't say anything else about that. Hey, Alex, thanks for hanging out, my friend. Have a good night. Let's see, who all is here? This looks like a lot of, I feel like I might be having some more chat lag. Maybe not. Pamela Rainey, hello there, my friend. Greetings. Okay, so 057 asked, what did I get, how did I get into YouTube? That is what you asked. So here's the deal. And I just want to, I'll while I'm talking, I'll just put on my story time thing so you guys have something to look at. Oh, Linzer Ryan, did I say hello to you, my friend? Hello there. Glad you made it. I think I might have. And Lynn, hello there. Greetings. Good afternoon. Lady Ryder as well. Hello there, my friend. So, for all those who are here, I'm seeing a lot of people that either I've just recently started seeing around in the chat and on streams, and some people who have actually come out and said, hey, this is my first time, or I just subscribed. So for all of you, even you, Tove Bjorsvik, is that how you say that? I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I'm not familiar with, what is that? Maybe Swedish or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I'm screwing that up, but you let me know. Oh, you said good evening from Norway. Well, there you go. I just saw the name and made a few improper assumptions. So anyway, and hope it's nice in Norway right now. And I don't recognize your name. You might be another one of these people that I haven't seen before. Or maybe I have. My memory is a little fuzzy about that sometimes. But anyway, for those of you who are recently joining me, or who are even for the first time joining me, I'm Mr. X, and I've been known as such for many years in some small ways around places where I grew up. Back in the day, I used to be a bit of a salesman of software and things like that, and I used to go by the name Mr. X as a kid so that no one knew who I really was. Nothing crazy or anything. I think I was just like selling CDs and stuff like that. Nothing damaging to anyone, so, like that. Let's see, Fred Thomas, Maritza, Esmeralda, and Lazy Kaneki. Greetings, my friends. Glad to have you around tonight. Just here chatting. I'm about to explain how I got into YouTube. I hope you guys are enjoying the animation, the background animation, because it took me about probably 6 or 8 hours to do this. Oopsie, hello there. All right, so I'm going to try to tell this story straight through, and then I'll catch up with the chat once I'm done. So basically, the way I've always been told by various people, hey, yeah, you should be on the radio, or you have a great like radio type voice. And so that I kind of just took that information and filed it in the back of my mind. And then one day I stumbled across, I used to listen to YouTube like the Philip DeFranco show. That was pretty much the only thing I really knew about on YouTube. And I would kind of just use YouTube for that, to listen and learn about news and that type of thing. But then one day, the first time I ever really realized that YouTube could be just for interesting or thought-provoking entertainment was I came across a channel called B Busta. And I started listening to his content for a while, and just thinking, man, this is awesome. I didn't know that there were people just writing these scary stories and reading them. I didn't know about all the politics and all the inner workings of how most narrators operate, and I ended up kind of forging my own path on that way, but we'll talk about that momentarily. So what I decided, I was like, you know what? I really think that I could do this. I could do this. I've always had ideas for stories. I've written stories before, and at first I was kind of under the impression that everyone on, that B Busta or the rest of those guys that I sort of came across in the early days, that they were writing their own stories. So I thought, hey, you know what? I write stories, so maybe I can do this. And initially, my first thought, I kind of evolved into, I wanted to do a sort of a philosophical type of channel. And I had the same logo and everything, but I don't think I'd come up with the Mr. X name yet. But I took my logo, the same one that's on my shirt right now, that a lot of you guys have been wearing, which is awesome. But I had all that ready, and I was thinking about it, and I was spending months actually several months researching and thinking about philosophy and religions and stuff like that. But then something else kind of hit me, and I thought, you know what? I think I would rather avoid those sensitive topics and start doing stories, just regular interesting stories. So I thought, okay, I've got actual real experiences, and so do several people in my family. And I've also had dozens of extremely detailed and vivid and interesting dreams. So what I did was I started collecting all this information and stories from my family members, and then I also started writing out my dreams, all the dreams that I could remember. And there were a whole bunch of them. So if you look all the way back to the beginning of my channel, there's pretty much the first, I think, 5 or 6 videos are about my specific dreams that I've had. And as I was going through that, and I would start to sort of sprinkle in these stories, personal stories of creepy things that have happened to me or to my family members. And then I started getting these people commenting and saying, "Hey, Mr. X, I had a strange experience too," or "I had a crazy nightmare as well, and will you talk about my story?" So I started saying, "Hey, send me your stories in email. If you had something crazy happen to you, then let me know. I'd like to know about it." And as that went along, people started sending me all kinds of interesting things. So whenever I would put up a video about, say, like my glitch in the Matrix story that I had, where my father was shot, and that's something that, a lot of people know from the earlier days of my channel. I spoke about that a lot. Whenever I would put up a video like that, I would get a couple of emails within the next couple of weeks saying, "Hey, Mr. X, I also had a glitch in the Matrix type of thing happen to me." And it was just crazy that people were starting to reach out to me in pretty large numbers. I was getting several emails a week with very interesting stories. And I was starting to realize that, hey, this is really giving me things to talk about and things to learn and things to discuss. And my format just sort of evolved and grew from there to where I started eventually making these almost cinematic type of experiences with various different stories. I would take the email someone sent and write it into a sort of a narrative format. Then I would add sound effects and music and things like that. This was back in the day before things really started speeding up at my work. So I had a little bit more time to do that. But now it's really, I need all the rest I can get, and I need time to spend with my family and things like that. So I don't have as much time to do that in the same way. So this is why I'm doing this streams, the live stream type of deal now. And whether you use my live streams and my voice to just put yourself to sleep, or if you actually listen and participate with the stories and talk about the discussions and all that good stuff, I truly do appreciate you guys. And so that's pretty much in a nutshell how I got to where I'm at right now. It's just me, I'm just trying to be the best person I can be, trying to sort of spread that notion of doing the best you can. And I want that to be what the dreamers are all about. Being a dreamer, and especially if you're going to wear my logo, that should be something that I want that to be something that inspires people to treat each other well, to do the best they can, to be there for one another, to support and uplift one another. And that's the message I want to do on here. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to listen to stories and think about things and theorize about really cool, interesting stuff. But at the end of the day, when we go out into the world, our actions. That's what really counts. That's what's going to help people and help make this world a better place for as many people as possible. So that's what I want to do. So there you go. Let me see here. I got a few things here. Arlene says, I love your channel. You're very talented. You produce fantastic art. Honored to donate to your Patreon. And that's pretty cool. 2 people have asked for my Patreon information in the past couple of minutes. And just so you guys know, I don't have a Patreon. I probably never will. But if you do want to donate or contribute to the channel, as you can see, it's scrolling across the bottom of my screen. I've been demonetized, and I can't make money directly from these YouTube videos anymore until I appeal, which is in like another 3 weeks from now. I got a 30-day ban for something that's completely ridiculous in my opinion. But what I would like for you to do, if you do want to support the channel monetarily in any way, I'm open to, I can PayPal donations if you want, not necessary. But if you do want to contribute, PayPal is the #1 choice. And if you want to represent the Dreamers, you can go to the Teespring store and pick up some merch from there, because that does help me out monetarily as well. Because believe it or not, I'm actually working on a website, and I'm going to be doing quite a lot on that website, and because I'm trying to sort of insulate myself from this having YouTube be in control of whether I can make money doing this thing that I love doing or not. So if you do want to PayPal me, by all means, that's pretty much the only way that I'll get directly supported from my YouTube work right now, other than teespring.com/stores/Mr. X Dream Store, which is also going across the bottom of my screen right now. But thank you so much for your interest, guys. I'm honored that you would consider supporting me on Patreon, and that's the way we got to do it for now. It's PayPal or Teespring. So let's see here. And by the way, thanks again for all of you who are here hanging out right now. I'm gonna see if I could find some more stories for us to talk about. And if anyone else has any ideas, anything that you want to hear, I just might have some stuff in my archives that might interest you. I'm glad you guys are liking the graphics as well. Let's see. Shin Fits, what's up, my friend? Old friend right there, Shin Fits. Good to see you here. Look forward to talking to you. I believe it's next week we have, or no, not next week. A couple weeks from now. I don't know how much of the cat you want out of that bag, but we'll talk about it. She Black Beauty, greetings. Your voice gives me Barry White vibes. I love your stories because I've had some very strange experiences as well. Well, She Black Beauty, if you've had some experiences, don't hesitate to send me an email if you have any really interesting ones that you'd like to share. I might be able to read your email on stream and discuss it. Dave Marks, hello there, my friend. Am I too late for Mr. X to gonna give it to me? That's pretty funny. Yeah, Linzer said, what's your Patreon? That's another reason why I explained that, the whole thing about PayPal and all that stuff. Patreon just seems like it might be in some dire straits right now, so I don't really want to get into that at this point. Plus, I'm not really consistent enough on my uploads and things like that for Patreon to be. I don't really feel like Patreon will work for me because it's a monthly thing, and I want to be able to give you something commensurate to what that, you know, to that type of financial donation setup, if you know what I mean. Faizab, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, my friend. Khan, hello there. Glad to see you here, my friend. Okay, let's see here. Almost caught up with the chat. Adam says, how does being featured in other people's videos work? So the way it works is you just kind of link up with another person if you have a mutual interest, or you can share some type of thematic ties with that person. Usually you just do a project together. There's all kinds of ways of doing it, and I've worked on several different projects with other narrators and other storytellers, and what I usually do is I'll write a story and then have a role for them to play in it. And it usually ends up being really cool because you get a little sneak peek of the talents and skills of other narrators in the midst of one of my videos. So if you look, I have a collab playlist that goes way back. I mean, I'm talking about, there's some people in there that have since blown up on YouTube, and I certainly haven't really, because I only do a maximum of one upload per week, and when that one upload is a live stream, it doesn't really show up for anyone. So that's why I need you guys to share the videos, share the live streams when they come on, and you know, just let your friends know and that you enjoy the show, because I don't really get a lot of love from the YouTube algorithm, unfortunately. But yeah, it's always a pleasure and a joy to work with other creators on this platform, and I plan on doing it. Yeah, Dark Somnium was over here a little bit ago. I got something coming up with Being Scared, possibly with Let's Read, another old friend of mine, Unit 522, and a smaller channel called Ghost Mummy, who's one of my best YouTube friends. Very brilliant British YouTuber as well. We're going to be doing an awesome show very soon, maybe within the next 2 weeks or so, because she brought a very interesting subject to my attention last month, and it's pretty much going to blow you away when we get into it. I'm not even going to say too much about it because I want to save it for then. So Logan says, gotta go. Look forward to the next one. Code word madness. Okay, I dig it. We'll see. We'll see about that. Dave Marks says SCP Foundation. I actually have a story that I wrote based on that SCP Foundation lore. If you guys ever look at it, it's called Henry, and it features another one of my friends, an Australian bloke, called Stories, Fables, Ghostly Tales. Very, very, very good guy. Excellent storyteller, and so charismatic. One of the most charismatic folks in the storytelling community on YouTube. Let's see here. Adam Buckley says, you really need to get some Disney stories. Like Disney stories like what? I'm not sure what you mean. So who's heard my personal Glitch in the Matrix story? I know there's a lot of new faces here, and I know I've said this story several times in the past, but if there's enough people who haven't heard it, since we're kind of just hanging out and chatting and talking right now, I don't mind hearing it. I don't mind telling it again if there's enough people who haven't heard it. It's not terribly long or anything. Also, let me know if you guys want some background sound going on again. I've got nighttime and I've got some heavy rain that I recorded myself. If you're interested, let me know. Arlene said, PayPal it is. Thank you very much, Arlene. I would certainly appreciate and put any donations to very good use. let's see. Alexis, hello there, my friend. Cryptids are my favorite, says Nyctophora. Yeah, that makes sense. So they're a lot. They're a big favorite on the channel. Most of my, if you look at my old cryptid collections, I have 3 volumes of my basic. I think they're each an hour long or so, talking about cryptids, and that's very that's a very popular genre, if you will. Let's see, April P. Hello there, my friend. You're having a bad day, and I cheered you up. I am so happy to hear that. You all have put some heavy rain on here, because why not? You all have no idea how much it means to me and how much I love hearing that you were cheered up by my work and my content on here. That's awesome. I love that. Okay. Tove or Tove. Tove, Tove, Bjorsvik. Please tell me how to pronounce your name so that I don't sound silly. Since you have all these strong dreams, do you know how to read them into your real life? That's a good question. Let me copy that so that I can remember. Once I catch up to the chat and I have a moment, I'll remember to talk about that. I feel like my volume has gone down or something. Fazy. I'll call you Fazy. I'll call you that. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for the clarification there. Alexis said this is the first stream you've joined on this channel. Excellent. Glad to have you, my friend. Yeah, Let's Read is one of the best, most soothing voices out there on YouTube. I learned a lot from listening to him, as far as his vocal control and things like that. He's really good. Darkness Prevails is another good one that I've worked with once before as well. Super nice guy too. Recently got married. Quipster Puck, hello there, my friend. Good to see you. Kid Frankie 7, hello there. Yeah, it's pretty early, and I've been on for about an hour and a half, and probably got another 25 minutes in me. We'll see. Shinfit said you're digging the scroll. I'm glad to hear that, my friend. It's a lot of hard work went into that. Jessica Bullock doesn't mind hearing it again. Fazy said, do you think SCP is real? No, I don't think they're real, but they are fun and interesting to talk about. You know, they certainly could be real, but you know, whatever. We'll see. We'll find out when we all transcend into the spirit realm and can absorb all knowledge at once, or something like that. Nikki J said, in pain. Gotta go. I hope you're not in too much pain. 057, I don't mind being your background sound. That's perfectly all right with me. As long as I'm helping you, I'm happy. All right, so seems like I got a couple of yeses for the Glitch in the Matrix story. Yes, this shirt that I'm wearing right now is on my online store. It is the best seller. I've got a few newer designs, but you check it out. There should be a link in the description box under this video for my Teespring store, and there's all kinds of good designs, all drawn and designed by me, and for your enjoyment. Sadaf Tariq, your stories and your voice is like a lullaby to me. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, my friend. I hope you have sweet dreams. The Mindless Night, I love your live streams and stories. I listen to them at work, and they make work a lot more bearable. Like I said, I love helping you guys out in any way I can. Yeah, Let's Read in his live streams. He's a lot funnier than you would assume, given the way that he is so soft-spoken when he reads his stories. Super nice guy. I've known him for a long time. Sans Serif, hello there, my friend. He said, in the 10th grade, I was in government class and had a flash of a writing paper about South Korea, and then it was gone. Graduated from high school in 2016. I wrote the paper about South Korea last year. So you had a little bit of a forward jump in time. That's interesting. Very interesting. So, here's for those of you, again, if this is your first stream, welcome. I hope you like the video. Give it a thumbs up if you do. I hope you subscribe. And stay tuned. Check out all my old stuff and all my old videos, because I have all kinds of different... You can see the entire evolution of my channel if you just look through my history. And I will be kind of getting rid of some old videos pretty soon to just declutter everything a little bit. Julietta263, greetings, my friend. I hope all is well with you as well. And all is certainly well with me. Thank you for asking. So, Glitch in the Matrix videos are among my favorites as far as the concept goes, because it says so much about, I believe it says a lot about the human mind and the hidden power of it. I think that there's a lot more that we can do than we give ourselves credit for. And I believe that one day, just like every other technology and magic that we come across, I believe one day these things will be more well understood, a lot more. Gabs, hello there, my friend. Greetings and welcome. And to answer Sadaf Tariq's question, I don't know much about jinn. Sinister Potato, hello there, my friend. I don't know how you got your name to be so small, but that's par for the course. A jinn is something, matter of fact, I'm going to add that to my list right now of things to talk about in the future. So you guys don't know this. This is a secret. But I'm going to be doing a podcast pretty soon. I'm sort of trying to transition my format so that I can add in a podcast type of show into my rotation, my lineup of the things that I do online. And jinn would be definitely a very interesting thing to research and then have a discussion about, to do an episode. So thanks for that idea, thanks for that idea, Sadaf Tariq. I appreciate that. So, my Glitch in the Matrix story. If you have heard of it before, hopefully you remember pretty much the same thing. And if you... yeah, I'm still going, Dark Somnium. Alex F., hello there, my friend. Thanks for the compliment. I appreciate that. So, let's kick it back into... yeah, I just realized that, Sadaf Tariq. I apologize. So, Miss Tariq. Yeah, I realized that that type of thing is something I shouldn't try to guess at. So, going to go into story mode. Hey, Brad, what's up, man? Good to see you. So, for those of you who haven't heard, I had a Glitch in the Matrix story, or an experience, rather, before I ever knew what Glitch in the Matrix actually was. Never heard of it at the time. Matter of fact, this was even before the original Matrix film, which happens to be my favorite movie of all time. It was before that came out, so there was really no name that I was aware of for this glitch type of phenomenon. It's something that happens, it seems to happen to many, many people across the world. So, I used to live with my parents growing up. I was about 13. And one day, I woke up in my bed, started going about my day. And then I went into my mother's room. My dad was at work. He was a police officer, South Florida. My mother was on the phone, just got off the phone, and was crying, like bitterly. My first thought was, oh my goodness, something's going wrong, something bad happened. Didn't occur to me that something bad could be my father getting hurt at work. So when she got off the phone, I asked her what was wrong. She told me that my dad had been shot, but that he wasn't severely injured. And that would be because the bullet hit the plate in his vest. So, a couple hours go by. I'm just trying to comfort my mother. A couple hours go by. My dad arrives home, still in uniform from work. And he shows me this metal plate that has a dent, an indentation on the very edge of it. It's so, where the bullet hit was so close to the edge of the plate that it sort of bent the edge of the plate upward. So it wasn't just like in the middle. It was right up at the edge to where 1 inch or even a quarter inch higher, and it would have just penetrated and went right into right through the next layer, and possibly into my dad's body, into his chest. So that was a totally surreal experience. I still remember walking I remember holding that cold metal plate in my hand, and I remember my mom crying and my dad standing there in uniform holding her. And I remember this surreal out-of-body almost feeling of me walking from my parents' room to my room. And I went and called, I picked up the phone and I called my best friend at the time and told him, hey, yeah, this just happened. My dad just got shot, but he's okay. He's fine. He's walking around and everything, just bruised. And the bullet hit a plate in his vest. So years go by. Remember, this is about 20 years ago that this happened. Years go by, and that's just a fact of life to me. I never really felt the need to mention it to anyone or talk about it because we were there. So one day, this is about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So let's say it's about 16 years after this happened. I go to my parents' house to visit, and I'm talking to them, and I say, hey, do you remember that time where dad was shot? And my mother's saying, what are you talking about? And I said, well, dad was shot, and it hit the plate in his vest. You remember that? She says, no, that never happened. I go to my dad, and he confirms, no, he was never shot in the line of duty. Not even a little bit. So, perplexed, obviously, I have to believe that they would remember if he was shot, especially him. I don't really have any contacts that worked with him at the time, I mean, I could go to the station and try to track someone down, one of his old partners or something, and ask them. But I feel like that would be a little disrespectful to my dad, honestly. I still flirt with the idea of doing it though once in a while, because I do have business with those officers every so often, and because now I work in a profession that also has me wearing a vest, like a body armor type situation. In the military I wore it, and now I wear it still. And one thing that happened, it caused me to kind of do a double take and go back and try to figure out what I might have been missing, or what if there was any detail that I could possibly use to disprove the experience that I had, seeing my dad's vest and seeing it, the dent in the plate. And I thought to myself, okay, maybe I was dreaming, because I did wake up and then this happened. Maybe it doesn't make sense, because I've never seen a vest with a small silver metal plate in it. A vest, I don't like to call them bulletproof vests, but police body armor, it typically is made of soft panels. And I've never heard of a silver in color, metallic, rectangular panel that goes in there. So I called my dad and said, "Hey, can you explain the components of your body armor back in the day when you were in service?" And he said, "Yeah, there were the soft panels." I was like, "Hey, was that all there was? That's it? There was nothing else?" He said, "Oh, well, there was also a metal plate." So, and he described it was a metal plate that goes into an insert in front of where your heart would be. And that kind of blew my mind in a way, because number one, I might have seen that before. I might have seen that plate, but I don't remember ever seeing it, except for that time where I saw the bullet denting in it. I might have seen it another time that I'm not remembering, and maybe that's where I'm getting that mental image. But I remember seeing and holding one, and I was kind of I was hoping that I could discount my own experience by him telling me, "Oh, well, yeah, it was just soft panels, that's it." But no, there was an actual metal plate in there. So that kind of put me in a hard place, because I was like, okay, well, now I'm even more sure that you did get shot, Dad. And he's like, well, it didn't happen. There's nothing I could there's nothing else I can really say. He just insists that it didn't happen, and I can't really insist that it did. I mean, I have to be screwed up somewhere along that line. And that I just don't know. I don't know. I almost feel like maybe for that time, that few hours in that day, I was just on another wavelength, and I was tapped into another dimension that's right next to the one that I'm in now. And actually, my dad was over my house this weekend, just past, and he joked with me about having done. I was thinking that something that he did or said that he doesn't think he did, and he was like, "Oh, well, maybe that was your dad from the other dimension," because he knows about the type of stuff that I talk about and think about on this channel. So I think that it could be that I'm screwed up somewhere, or I just am misinterpreting something or misremembering something. But I literally called my best friend, broken up, saying, "Hey, my dad was shot." And actually, I forgot to mention this. When my parents told me, "Hey, this never happened. I immediately called my best friend back and said, "Hey, do you remember what when I called you and told you that my dad was shot? I called you on the phone at home, an old school landline phone, before everybody had cell phones. I said, do you remember when I called and told you that my dad was shot?" He said, "Yeah." What about it? It was a totally normal thing to him. He's grown up with me. I've known him since I was 7 years old, and he grew up with me knowing that my dad was shot. So there's two explanations. There's two possibilities with this. Either I just spontaneously woke up one day, got up, got on the phone, and just called my friend and told him that my dad had been shot, or this happened and somehow I'm the only one who remembers it happening in front of me. I don't get it. Very, very interesting topic, if you ask me. And obviously, if you go back and look into my channel, there are several glitch in the Matrix stories, and I have a whole bunch of them waiting in my inbox for me to go through as well. But they are, these things happen to people all over the world all the time, and they're fascinating to me. And it's one of the more, because cryptids are interesting because it's a little bit more visceral of an experience, and it's a little bit more it's a little scarier and things like that. But this is so much more down to earth to me, for lack of a better term, that it's fascinating to contemplate. All right, so let's see here. I know there's been some activity in the chat here. Tariko, that is strange. Just a thought. Could it be related to your memory loss story with your family? It could be. I mean, you never know who or what is behind this that type of thing. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, or what Tariko's talking about, that's another story. I believe I told it sometime within the past few weeks. I've told that story on a live stream. So if you heard that, I won't repeat that one as well, because that's one of my top revisited stories that I always tell, because it's personal, and I know it very well, and I can explain everything about it. Well, the stuff that can be explained anyway. But yeah, that story, in a nutshell, I had an event happen where I lost kind of a block of memory of an unknown amount, and other people in my family lost even more. So I'm the only one who seems to remember some specific things about that, about an incident involving an unidentified flying object. I probably sound like a crazy person right now, but it is. I assure you, I'm not a crazy person, and it is true that I have these experiences. Dave Marks says, false memories are neat. I thought I'd beat the original Zelda for over a decade. I didn't. Isabella James says, sounds like a parallel universe. Yeah. Yeah. Faisy, you said sleep can make dimensions collide. That is one of the kind of like the thesis ideas of my sort of worldview when it comes to humanity and the collective consciousness. I feel like being close to sleep, or being in the embrace of sleep, actually can and actually does put us closer to something. there's some kind of realm or membrane that we can pass through more easily when we're in the kind of that twilight area between being awake and being asleep. And there's more research to be done on my part for that, and definitely we'll definitely be talking about that in the future. Faisy also asked, what about the plate? Where did it go? I don't know. I would have to assume that he probably just turned it in when he retired. Monica Rivera, greetings, my friend. Oh, you got the leggings. Please send me a picture when you try those on, my friend. That would be awesome. And you will end up in this slideshow, because there's only one person with leggings in that slideshow so far. So whoever else does end up getting any of the merch, please send me an awesome picture of you rocking it. And don't forget what that merch stands for, what those designs and my logo stands for. It's for you being the best person you can be, going out into the world and making it a better place little by little. That is what I want you to do when you're wearing my merch. 057, yes, a crazy person doesn't know they're crazy. That's the whole thing. So if someone tells you they are crazy, they're probably lying. Unless it's like, yeah, we won't go there. Margbot, I would know. Wait a minute. What would I know having been in the military? Oh yeah, if you're new here and you don't know who I am as Mr. X, that's another thing about me I just forgot to mention. I kind of mentioned it, but I didn't mention it during my introduction situation, but I was in the military. That's correct. I am indeed a veteran. Most people can tell just by looking at me somehow. I don't know how that is, but I don't think I look like a military person anymore. Back in the day, you could easily tell. There's like this certain kind of tan that most military people have all the time. Sadaf Tariq saying, heard a lot of cryptid stuff with soldiers in Afghanistan. I saw some kind of cryptid stuff in Afghanistan, and I told that story not long ago. And I'm telling you, I feel like certain people, like if you've gone through one paranormal event, very few people go through a paranormal event and nothing else. Like that's it, one stop and no more. It's like when that happens, when it happens to you, it tends to repeat itself, and it tends to you tend to attract more weird occurrences into your life. I don't know how that works, but yeah, that does seem to be a pretty common thing. I've seen shadow people, I've seen cryptids, I've had sleep paralysis, I've seen a UFO, I've had a glitch in the Matrix. It's like everything has happened to me. Pretty much everything. I haven't seen any ghosts, as far as I know. But it's just like that's how it is. A lot of people get the same stuff happening to them consecutively. I mean, it's just never ending. Luckily, I haven't been tormented by this stuff. Not in a long time, anyway. Yeah, I do keep a sort of a clean shave, but that's because I have to because of my job. In the U.S., people in my profession are expected to be clean shaven all the time, even though there's no real reason to. I guess technically you could say if you have to put on a gas mask or something, then you should be clean shaven, but whatever. Hopefully I never have to do that in real life. Springtrap, greetings, my friend. I hope you're well. Good to see you. LOA Blue, Or Loa Blue. Yeah, I've been on for 2 hours. That's a stream right there. It's pretty long. I used to do even longer back in the days, but I'm probably gonna wrap it up in a little bit. For all of those of you who've just recently come in, I want you to check out my new animation. Very proud of it, as if you didn't know that already. And make sure you guys follow me on Twitter and Instagram, because I do upload things like this whenever I'm working on something cool. I'll throw it up there before I have a chance to show it during a live stream or things like that. So if you want to see these types of things, artwork and stuff like that, before anyone else, my Twitter and Instagram is always open. And like I said before, let's see here. Yeah, Nyctophora. Yeah, Mr. X wearing a Mr. X t-shirt, drinking from a Mr. X cup while telling Mr. X stories. We have reached peak Mr. X. That is going on my Twitter. That's a pretty good quote, my friend. Nyctophora. That's pretty funny. And very true. Let's see, who do we got? Haunted Girl, Dominique, and I feel like there was another new person jumping in. Haunted Girl and Dominique, greetings, my friends. Glad to see you here. Unfortunately, I'm almost out of time. Going to be jumping off in a little bit. But yeah, I definitely need to look into this, the jinn topic. And before I go, guys, just as a what do you call it? Reminder. I've said this a couple times already, but for those who haven't heard, I'm demonetized, as you well know by now. If you want to donate or contribute to the channel in any way, you don't have to. I'm more than happy to just have your thumbs up and your shares and your comments and you just hanging out and watching the stories and hanging out with me. But if you do want to contribute, you can do so by going to my PayPal, which is on the screen right now, or going to the Teespring store. I'll leave that at that if you really feel like doing so. Mandar Pawale. Hello there, my friend. I'm glad you like my voice and stories. And I appreciate you being here, my friend. Thank you. Springtrap says, celebrate your 15th birthday on the 14th. Very nice. Happy birthday. Let's all wish Springtrap a happy belated birthday. Springtrap is an old school dreamer. Someone you probably all know and love. Margbot, yes, I did do Margbot's current logo. And I posted that up on my Instagram too. I've been thinking about updating that one as well. I've learned a few things. I've learned a thing or two since I did that one, Margbot. So if I ever do get around to making a updated version of that, I'll hit you with that. No problem. Yes, happy birthday, Springtrap. I hope you had a great one. So, I think that could be a good code word. If you're listening to this stream, and by the way, because I'm trying to avoid getting into other demonetization issues down the line, I'll probably just be leaving up the stream the way it is, the long extended one, even though it's not going to get any views, because I do like hanging out with you guys, and I do think that it's probably a nice, fun, interesting time, or if anything, it's not bad stuff to fall asleep to after the fact. So I'll probably not be uploading a highlight stream for this particular stream. And so this is what we're going to get. And if you are listening to this late moment in the stream, I want you to say, happy birthday, Springtrap. in the comments section down below. How about that? In the comment section down below, the code word for today is Happy Birthday Springtrap. If you say that in the comments down below, I can see you, and I would very much appreciate it. Yes, Markbot, anytime. Gaylor Garrett, greetings, my friend. I'm glad. Oh, you're in Texas, and someone else said shout out Texas. Taylor Buck, shout out Dallas, indeed. Haven't been there in a long, long time. Andrea, greetings, my friend. And Melissa, hello there. And yeah, make sure you guys like, subscribe if you haven't already. Share the videos. Let everyone know where they can go to come out and shout out Switzerland. Let everybody know where they can come and hang out and possibly fall asleep if that's what they want to do, or if they want to just hang out and talk about interesting stories and cool stuff like that. Definitely let them know that they can come to Mr. X Dreams. And so glad to have you guys all here. So glad that you were able to hang out for 2 hours. It's pretty long. And thank you guys so much for your time. Remember to be the best people you can be. Remember to go out there and represent the dreamers. Whether you have a shirt, a dreamer merch shirt, or a hoodie or whatever, or not, inside, be a dreamer. Be the one who is going to improve someone else's day, to make someone else smile, to let someone else know that it's going to be okay, that they're cared for, that they're loved. And if you do that, that's all I could ask. You know, that's all I can ask. So I appreciate you guys, and thanks so much as always, and I hope to see you guys again soon. It might not be next week because I'm going to be extremely busy, but I'll see you guys as soon as I can. All right? So, as always, my friends, I'm Mr. X, and may your nights be full of dreams. You all take care.